way to predict the future is to create it. And that's a quote by Peter Drucker. Time is precious, time is money, and this is the time for Money Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Good day, viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. This is the network's medium of bringing the happenings in the economic sector of the society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is accentuated through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government, economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with expert opinions, stakeholders analysis, and correspondence reports. Headlines: FG hails lifting of petrol. 10,000 vehicles to enjoy free CNG conversion. MTN drive to 607 billion naira gain. Nigerian companies grow news. By the end of the show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of financial activities around the world. I am your host, Wendy Aguma. We'll take a short break and when we return, we'll reveal out the details. Don't go anywhere.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water, and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats, and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women, and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media, his issues, and citizens across the nation, step in now before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809 2.
Is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. Federal government has commended the beginning of petroleum product lifting from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and petrochemicals, describing it as a significant step towards nationwide industrial sufficiency in refining. The head of communications, Dangote Group, Anthony Chiejina, in a statement said trucks from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, had begun transporting petrol from the refinery located in Ibeju, Lekki, on Sunday in Lagos. While leading the government delegation, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, also described the development as a that revitalizes Nigerians' confidence in domestic industrialization and refining capabilities. The minister, accompanied by Dr. Zak Adedeji, Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service and Chairman of the Technical Subcommittee on Naira-based crude sales to local refineries, said this initiative would ensure Nigeria's energy security and independence. Edun stressed the benefits of alleviating persistent fuel scarcity and long queues at gas stations, aligning with President Bola Tinubu's vision of adding value to raw materials before export and further acknowledged Tinubu's role in establishing the free trade zone concept during his tenure as Lagos State Governor. No fewer than 300 trucks belonging to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited are at the Dangote refinery at the moment. NNPC spokesperson Olufemi Sonaye, who confirmed this in a video on his X handle, the trucks were arriving in preparation for the loading of petrol on Sunday. He said trucks are arriving at the Dangote station for the scheduled petrol loading on Sunday, September 15, 2024. Dangote Refinery has stated that it sold premium motor spirit, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, in dollars. Anthony Chiejina, the Group Chief Branding and Communications Officer of Dangote, made this clarification in a statement on Sunday. Chiejina was responding to NNPCL's assertion that it purchased fuel from Dangote Refinery at 898 naira per litre. In previous reports, Chief Spokesperson of the NNPCL, Olufemi Sonoye, loaded PMS at the Dangote Refinery. The claim that they purchased it at 760 naira per litre is incorrect. From this initial loading, the price from the refinery was 898 naira per litre. However, in its statement, Dangote Refinery refuted the claim. Nigerian National Petroleum Company has released a breakdown of estimated prices of premium motor spirit from Dangote Refinery in retail stations across the country based on September 2024 pricing. The spokesperson of NNPCL, Olufemi Sonoye, who described this in a statement that the company confirmed that it is paying Dangote Refinery in United States dollars for the September 2024 PMS, and the company confirmed that it is paying Dangote in United States dollars in the September 2024 PMS offtake. The state-owned company stressed that the Dangote Refinery petrol gantry was bought at 898 naira 78 kobo per litre, while the estimated cost price of petrol in Lagos plus logistics will stand at 950 naira 22 kobo per litre. In other locations like Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Sokoto and Kano State, petrol will be sold at the estimated price of 999 naira 22 kobo per litre, while Rivers, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Imo and other states stood at 980 naira, and Oyo State stood at 960 naira 22 kobo. The highest pump price will be in Borno State, which stood at 1,119 naira per litre. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says it will sell petrol lifted from Dangote Refinery at 950 naira per litre in Lagos and as much as 999 naira 22 kobo in Abuja, Sokoto, Kano, while a litre could go for as high as 1,000 naira 19 kobo, 1,019 naira per litre. As high as 1,019 naira per litre in Borno and 906 naira per litre in Oyo, Rivers and other areas in the south. NNPC spokesperson Olufemi Sonoye, in a statement entitled NNPC Limited releases estimated pump prices of PMS from Dangote Refinery based on September 2024 pricing, said the NNPC Limited has released estimated prices of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, obtained from the Dangote Refinery in its retail stations across the country. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has filed a lawsuit against President Bola Tinubu requesting a reduction in the petrol price from 845 naira per litre to 600 naira per litre. The organization, in a suit by Serap's lawyer, Ebon Olu Adeborowa, at the Federal High Court in Abuja, is challenging the president over the failure to direct the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to reverse the apparently unlawful increase in the pump price of petrol. The lawsuit was failure to investigate allegations of corruption and mismanagement within the national oil firm and listed the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fabemi and the NNPCL as correspondents. SERAP also calls for the prosecution of anyone suspected to be responsible for the alleged corruption and mismanagement in the NNPCL, provided there is sufficient admissible evidence, and to recover any proceeds of corruption, stressing that the increase in petrol price is causing immense hardship among Nigerians. This is coming after the federal government, through the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, in Abuja, that the NNPC would be the sole buyer of petrol from the refinery, and it will follow the national oil firm's statement that it was not the exclusive off-taker of product from the Dangote refinery, and that the refinery was free to sell its petrol to any marketer, stressing that the increase in petrol prices constitutes a fundamental breach of constitutional guarantees and the country's international human rights obligations. Analysts have described the deal between the federal government and Dangote's refinery as crude pricing and distribution to work towards reviving the nation. In an Atlantic Television Network program, ATN Sunday, a socio-political analyst, Emmanuel George, advocated for the maintenance and sustainability of the country's existing refineries in order to adequately ameliorate the looming hardship occasioned by the fuel price across the country.
Playing politics with it. What stops the government, the federal government, what stops them from maintaining the existing refineries and building more refineries? When was the last time the government built a refinery, functioning refinery? Most of our young people in our mangroves, in the that are
As a federal government has disclosed that the supply of petrol from Dangote refinery will commercially, after parties reach agreement on pricing and supply, NNPC will remain as the sole uptake of petrol from the refinery, with other marketers getting the product from the national oil company. Over 10,000 commercial vehicles will benefit from the federal government's compressed natural gas conversion initiative. This follows a presidential compressed natural gas initiative for the free conversion of commercial vehicles across the federation. The CNG conversion, which targets 10,000 commercial vehicles in its first phase, was kick-started in Lagos, and while speaking at the vehicle compatibility inspection exercise held at the convention center in the Ajah area of Lagos, the strategic project advisor Olayinka Rufai said the program also targets 1 million vehicles by 2027. Rufai said the exercise would convert 1,000 commercial vehicles in 1 week at the pilot stage of first come, first serve, adding that the objective in the vehicles by 2027 and not to support the initiative by setting up CNG stations across the nation. He said the decision to target commercial vehicles to ensure that the major area of reducing the hardship of the common man through a reduction in their daily spending on transportation. Also speaking, the technical head at the Agile Conversion Center, Aziz Adekambi, said the conversion process requires each vehicle to be inspected for compatibility with the available conversion kits. Ogun State Governor Ademola Adeleke says his administration has been actively implementing a compressed natural gas conversion and adoption initiative for the past 8 months. He said the initiative is aimed at modernizing the state transportation system, including plans to convert the state-run mall Imole buses to CNG-powered vehicles, while offering a more sustainable and cost-effective alternative. A statement signed by his spokesperson, Oladeleke, said the project had been in motion since January 2024, and the state was working in collaboration with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Company Limited and other stakeholders to ensure the success of the initiative, adding that the state was involved in public-private partnership negotiations with 3 companies, including a local CNG firm, which has made significant progress in advancing the project. He also said as part of the initiative, the state's Imole buses, which are currently providing pallet transport services, will soon be converted to CNG models, and Osun State is set to benefit from a federal initiative aimed at promoting the nationwide adoption of CNG as an alternative fuel route. Adeleke said the expansion is expected to enhance the existing transport palliative system, which has been providing essential services to residents of Osun State. Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning and the Ministry of Finance says the strategic coordination of policies and payments in Nigeria, particularly in addressing national financial commitment, is being resolved with the private sector. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, disclosed this while highlighting the ongoing collaboration between ministries to ensure that national financial obligations were met in a timely and efficient manner. Represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Vitalis Obi, the Budget Minister underscored the importance of policy frameworks in addressing issues of delayed payments to manufacturers and other critical sources, and stressed that swift action would be taken once funds were approved by disbursement to serve pressing national issues. He said the summit provided an opportunity to top policymakers, corporate leaders, and other stakeholders to exchange their ideas and build a consensus and strategic policies that would benefit the country, adding that the collaborative efforts between the government and the private sector in organizing the summit were essential for fostering Nigeria. The minister also addressed the financial strains affecting manufacturers and other sectors that rely on timely payments. Osun State Internal Revenue Services has arrested 2 suspects for allegedly faking government tax receipts and clearance. The arrest of the duo was made publicly by the chairman of the agency, Ademola Adewumi, in a statement on Sunday in Oshobo, and also warned taxpayers in the state to be vigilant and ensure they go to authorized channels to pay their taxes. Speaking on the arrest of the suspects, Adewumi said they were arrested during a statewide audit and enforcement exercise, and the agency would not condone illegality regarding tax payments. Also warned against involvement in faking government tax receipts and clearance, stressing that anyone caught engaging in the act would be made to face the full wrath of the law. He also urged diligent taxpayers to be vigilant, adding that the objective of the ongoing exercise is to bring all enemies of the government regarding revenue to book and hand over to the State Police Command for further interrogation and possible prosecution. Nigerian Labour Congress has partnered with the Nigerian Bar Association to promote the rule of law and protect citizens' rights. This is coming after the Nigerian Labour Congress President, Comrade Joe Ajaero, visited the Nigerian Bar Association and was received by the newly elected NBA President, Afam Osigwe-San, and his team. A statement issued by the NLC Head of Information and Public Affairs, Comrade Benson Opa, disclosed that the meeting provided opportunity for both organizations to exchange reviews and experiences on the importance of entrenching the rule of law and safeguarding the fundamental rights of Nigerian citizens, while discussions focused on how sectors could work together to ensure that democracy thrives and the government is anchored on justice, fairness, and accountability. Ajero reaffirmed the NLC's commitment to working alongside the NBA in promoting the rights of workers and all Nigerians, and stressed on the importance of a strong legal presence that protects Nigerians from abuse, ensures the freedom of association, and uphold democratic norms. The NLC president also commended the NBA's role in defending the integrity of the legal system, while expressing optimism that the collaboration would lead to meaningful change in Nigeria's political and socio-economic landscape. While in his remarks, the NBA president highlighted the association's determination to uphold the rule of law and strengthen Nigeria's legal institutions, and expressed readiness to partner with the NLC in advocating for policies that respect citizens' rights and promote social justice. Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, in collaboration with the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, have designed the 30th edition of the Nigerian Economic Summit Next 30 to address the current economic headwinds facing the country with a view of creating a pathway to stability. Addressing the media last weekend, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, and the theme was carefully chosen to discuss priorities for addressing the current economic challenges, stabilizing the economy, and repositioning Nigeria in the regional and global stage, focusing on product complexity and competitiveness with a view to the realization of the country's enormous potentials. He said he will also focus on Nigeria's leadership role in driving the continent's transformation through institutions, investments, integration, industry, and innovation. While for the past 1 year, the current administration had tinkered with several options to manage the impact of its economic reform on the livelihood of the citizens, but their efforts seem not working. Bagudu also said the summit discussions will be designed around 5 sub-themes, namely fostering inclusive development, unleashing business dynamism, building a more secure society, igniting innovation and digital evaluation, and promoting stakeholder collaboration, and assure that stakeholders will be engaged in frank discussions designed to place the country on a sustained growth trajectory. Competitiveness and stability, harnessing the nation's demographic dividends. Stakeholders will equally highlight the imperatives of economic sustainability, inclusive growth, execution, political economy, and visionary leadership as drivers of sustainable socio-economic development. Federal government and the Federal Inland Revenue Service have accepted the 2024 annual MSME Finance Rewards, which will recognize institutions and stakeholders driving financial inclusion and growth for micro, small, and medium enterprises in the country. The Chief Executive Officer of Economic Forum Media Limited, Jude Ndu, said the MSME Finance Awards is a testament to the growing importance of MSMEs in the Nigerian economy and provides a platform to celebrate institutions that are ensuring financial services reach the grassroots, as well as helping to stimulate economic growth. Udodri Obichuku said the role of data-driven insights in promoting MSMEs growth are focused on empowering MSMEs in the knowledge with the knowledge and data they need to make informed decisions for truly championed innovation, execution, and sustainability in the MSME system. Nigeria Employers Consultative Association says challenges facing the manufacturing sector is leading to the closure of some companies and exit of some multinational companies from Nigeria. Newly elected president of NECA, Ifeanyi Okoye, said there are a lot of issues that are burgeoning manufacturers in the country, adding that one of the major aspects of the economic problems that most a few days ago during the annual general meeting, and it was mentioned that no key manufacturer benefited from that money, and also recommended that the people to benefit must be the people who recognize manufacturers, possibly members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, or at least through NECA, because most of the members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria are also members. The Maintenance Agency is set to collaborate with the Federal Housing Authority on road construction and rehabilitation projects. The statement issued by FEMA Director of Information and Public Relations, the Chief Executive Officer of FAH, to FEMA's headquarters the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of FEMA, Chukwuemeka Abasi, who stressed the importance of road infrastructure to the success of housing projects. He acknowledged that FEMA would be an essential partner in ensuring accessible and motorable roads for FAH housing development, stating housing and road infrastructure are vital components of the Renewed Hope agenda, and since the roads leading to these projects are federal roads, FEMA will ensure they are motorable, adding that plans to constitute a team to access the required scope of work and incorporate it into the 2025 budget while seeking alternative funding sources is underway. He expressed optimism about the potential long-term benefits of the partnership, noting that FEMA could leverage the relationship to develop the agency's land and enhance service delivery, and plans to constitute a team to access the required scope of work and incorporate it into the 2025 budget while seeking alternative funding sources. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials, and you can connect with us and watch us live on ATN Socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Nigerian equity market gained 607 billion naira in market capitalization in the past week on the back of buying interest in large cap stocks like Access Corporation's MTN Nigeria. The all-share index appreciated by 0.06%, 1.06% to close at 97,456.62, while the market capitalization rose by 1.10% to 56 trillion naira, and other indices closed higher except for the growth index, which saw a depreciation of 0.03%, while the alternative securities market index remained flat. In terms of activity, the financial services industry led the chart, accounting for 1.71 billion naira shares, 1.71 billion shares valued at 26.99 billion naira, traded in 19,277 days, contributing 66.05% and 52.71% to the total equity turnover volume and value respectively, and closely was the oil and gas industry, which saw 332.83 million shares worth 12 billion naira traded in 9,956 deals. Meanwhile, the federal government's savings bonds were listed on the Nigerian exchange on September 12th, and the local bourses lost 83 billion naira in the previous week as all-share index and market capitalization dipped by 0.15% due to sell-offs in big stocks. Food and Agriculture Organization has issued a grave warning regarding the escalating food insecurity crisis in Nigeria, exacerbated by devastating floods that have affected 29 states. As of early September 2024, over 2.5 million people have been impacted, with approximately 200,000 displaced from their homes, and nearly 31.8 million Nigerians are already at risk of acute food insecurity, and the floods threaten to worsen this dire situation. FAO representative Kofi Dominic Kwaku highlighted that the floods have submerged 1.3 billion hectares of land, including 558,000 hectares of cropland. The flood continued to push vulnerable communities deeper into poverty, and the widespread loss of farmland will severely affect food security. This is coming after on September 10, 2024, FAO had recorded 1.3 million hectares of land submerged, including 558,000 of cropland across the country, adding that floodwaters are expected to continue rising further as rivers swell and dams approach their maximum capacity, which will further threaten communities across northern Nigeria. Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria has blamed the low turnout for the registration of point-of-sales operators across the country on the inability of the Corporate Affairs Commission to outline considerable guidelines. The federal government, through the CAC, had previously set a 2-month deadline for POS companies to register their agents, merchants, and individuals with the Commission in compliance with legal requirements and the directives of the Central Bank of Nigeria to reduce fraud within the system, combat kidnapping, and the payment of ransoms. The registration deadline was initially scheduled for July 7th, and later shifted to September 5th, while after the registration deadline, the CAC expressed concern over the inadequate compliance with the directive despite the large number of POS operators in the country. Reacting to CAC's statement, the national president of the association, Surafidin Fasasi, described the move by the CAC to clamp down on the association members who were yet to register with the Commission as illegal and frustrating. Federal government is training 3 million Nigerian youths in digital skills for job creation in the country and designed to empower Nigerians with the skills for innovation-driven industries, highlighted during the 17th annual CIBN conference in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shatima, at the 17th annual CIBN conference in Abuja, said the government aimed to achieve 70% digital literacy by 2027 for critical job creation, increased productivity, and expanding access to financial services across the country. Tinubu said the significant focus on creating jobs, reducing poverty, and ensuring every Nigerian has the opportunity to thrive, adding that tackling economic challenges such as volatile oil prices and the need for diversification in sectors like agriculture, technology, and manufacturing requires a collective effort to recalibrate Nigeria's economic strategies. Speaking on CIBN impact on economic policy, CIBN President Professor Pius Deji Olarewaju spoke on the positive impact of past conferences on government policies, highlighting the recent lifting of foreign exchange restrictions on 43 import items as a direct result of CIBN's recommendations. He also noted that CIBN's collaboration with stakeholders, including the African Guarantee Fund, to improve financing for micro, small, and medium enterprises, stressing that Nigeria's vast natural resources, including its 34.2 million hectares of arable land, remain underutilized, as well as concerted efforts to maximize the country's agricultural potential. Nigeria has been admitted into Work Skills International, marking a historic milestone in the nation's vocational and technical education landscape. This admission, which was formalized during the World Skills General Assembly in Lyon, France on September 9th, opens a new chapter for Nigeria's technical and vocational education and training system. A statement by the president of the sector's Skills Council for Building in Nigeria, Dr. Samson Opalawa, expressed profound excitement over Nigeria's admission and described it as a remarkable achievement that demonstrates the success of our Nigerian skills qualification framework, equipping the youth with globally competitive skills. Opalawa highlighted that the youth have the opportunity to participate in international skills competitions, as well as gain exposure Let's go back to the beginning of the sentence or a new one. I don't know. Authority plans to introduce community recycling centers to support businesses in circular economy and also provide recycling companies with a space within the community to collect recyclable materials will come in 2025. The CEO Muyiwa Badeshing said the centers are part of upcoming innovations from the Waste Management Agency during the Lagos Recyclers Association conference held in Lagos and acknowledged He said Lagos Waste Management Authority is making efforts to restructure the marketplace for recyclable materials and protect local players from being disrupted by the inflow of players who come in with more liquidity by regularizing entrants. Special Advisor to Lagos State Governor on Climate Change and Circular Economy, Titilayo Oshodi, said the need for increased enlightenment in the circular economy was a means to bridge the financing gap recycling businesses face, and also highlighted on the philosophies or perceptions around waste need to evolve as it is becoming a resource in transition. National Association of Telecommunications Subscribers has appealed to the Nigerian Communications Commission for an extension of the NIN SIM linkage deadline from September 14th to September 30th. The national president of NATCOMS, Deolu Ogunbanjo, who disclosed this on Sunday, said the extension was needed due to challenges with the National Identity Management Commission's portal, adding that the NCC had set a deadline of September 14, 2024 for all mobile users to link the SIM cards to their national identification numbers and stressed the importance of the NIN SIM linkage for improving digital security and reducing fraud and cybercrime. Ogubanjo said the 2-week extension was necessary for NIMC to increase the capacity of its portal, while the telecom operators at customer centers often struggle to upload information on the NIMC portal, as well as the difficulties in uploading on the NIMC portal had frustrated the process and caused delays. He also said the development would alleviate the current difficulties and ensure a smoother experience for all stakeholders, adding that failure to pay meant the customer would not be attended to, and the agents at the center book advantage of the situation due to the crowd. He stressed that the NIN SIM linkage should be a continuous process with no set deadline, arguing that such deadlines encourage unwholesome practices. You're watching ATM Business on the Latin Television Network. We will be back after this break.
From the lands across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings.
Welcome back to ATN Business and Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Economy of the European Union comprises about 449 million people and 27 countries, has the third largest economy in the world, accounting for 1/6 of global trade. The European Union operates as a single market of 27 countries, allowing the free movement of goods, services, capital, and people. The Nigerian economy is Africa's largest economy with a gross domestic production of $472 billion in 2024 and it has remained Africa's largest economy for the most part since 2014. Nigeria's GDP is larger than that of 19 countries in the EU, including Denmark of $404 billion and in Portugal $287 billion and while in Finland $300 billion, to mention a few. The union said, considering the size of Nigeria's population of 233 million people, all economic indicators suggest that the Nigerian economy needs to further expand as the GDP per capita remains relatively low, adding that Nigeria's large labor pool and consumer base offer considerable potential for GDP growth. Of Nigeria's $472 billion GDP, agriculture accounts for 21.07%, industry for 20.89%, and services for 58.04%. This comes after Nigeria's total trade with the European Union amounted to £45 billion in 2024. The total trade volume between Nigeria and the EU has increased over the years, about 20 billion euros in 2016, 26 billion euros in 2017, and 4 billion in 2018. The European Union remains Nigeria's leading trade partner, accounting for over 20% of Nigeria's trade with the world. The development considered trade relations in particular as a crucial vessel to foster circular economic opportunities and support sustainable development in the global south, while Nigeria's major exports to the EU include mineral products, foodstuffs and beverages, pearls and precious metals, vegetable products, raw hides and skins, and saddlery. The EU and Nigeria have collaborated in the critical sectors of the Nigerian economy, including infrastructure and power, healthcare, and others. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has lodged a formal complaint about the UK airport authorities' refusal to allow the Nigeria Air Peace to land at Heathrow Airport. This is coming after a letter dated August 1st, 2024, and addressed to the Louis Hague, the UK Secretary of State for Transport. Keyamo warned that if the Air Peace was not allocated a space at London Heathrow, Nigeria would be forced to reciprocate by denying British Airways and Virgin Atlantic slots at the Lagos and Abuja Airport. Although Heathrow is the UK's primary airport, Air Peace currently operates from Gatwick Airport, a secondary airport, and the UK's Heathrow Airport could be compared to Nigeria's Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, and Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. And Gatwick Airport, UK, may be likened to Enugu International Airport. Meanwhile, Nigeria and the United Kingdom are both parties to bilateral aviation safety agreement, an agreement that provides for civil aviation certificates to be shared between the two countries, and the agreement is called the Bilateral Aviation Safety Agreement. Uganda Airlines has launched direct flights from Abuja to Entebbe, a city in central Uganda. The airline said the new route was expected to enhance connectivity, reduce travel time, as well as boost trade and tourism between the two countries and provide travelers with an efficient link between West and East Africa. The airlines disclosed this known at the inauguration, which took place at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, recently. The Ugandan High Commissioner for Nigeria, Ambassador Nelson Ochega, highlighted the impact of the new connectivity, adding that the direct flight would facilitate cargo movement between the two countries, enhancing trade and business growth. The Ugandan Minister of State for Transport, Honorable Fred Byamukana, praised the long-standing cordial relationship between Nigeria and Uganda. Global stock markets experienced a decline this week, driven by inflation data from the US and China, which have ignited expectations for a potential interest rate cut by the Federal Reserve. In the US, inflation data for August revealed a month-on-month increase of 0.2% and a year-on-year increase of 2.5%. A decrease from the previous 2.9%, while the slower inflation rate has led to heightened speculations that the Federal Reserve may implement a rate cut in its upcoming meeting, boosting investor sentiment. The report said China's inflation figures, reflecting a cooling environment, have further contributed to market optimism after investor analysts suggest that a potential rate cut could provide additional liquidity to global markets and support economic growth, reinforcing bullish trends in stock markets worldwide. The Philippines will continuously deploy vessels in the contested Sabina Shoal in the South China Sea, its Coast Guard said on Monday after a Philippine ship returned to port after a 5-month deployment there. The PCG's vessel, Teresa Mabanoa, was deployed to Sabina Shoal in April to monitor what Manila suspects to be China's small-scale land reclamation activities in the area. It returned to port on Sunday. Tariela said the ship's return was not related to China's demand for Manila to withdraw its vessel. Instead, it was so it could be repaired and to attend the crew's medical needs. The Escoda Shoal lies west of the Philippine province of Palawan, within the country's exclusive economic zone. China's Coast Guard said on Sunday it would continue to carry out law enforcement activities in the waters under Beijing's jurisdiction in accordance with the law and safeguard its territorial sovereignty and maritime rights and interests. China claims sovereignty over most of the South China Sea, overlapping into maritime zones of Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam. In 2016, the Hague Arbitration Tribunal voided expansive and historical claims, a decision Beijing rejected. This is where we wrap it up on this edition of ATN Business and Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Wendy Aguma. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, Mali, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Up next is ATM Politics with Weekend. Thank you for watching and good afternoon.